So today I'm going to talk about how the West is portrayed in the two novels. The two novels being An Evil Cradling and Persepolis. Okay, so between the two novels there are quite a few differences. Um, similarities, but not that many similarities because maybe due to the situation they were in and the time they were in that caused them to have different perspectives. Okay, so there are many differences that we can pick out between the two novels because they're in such different times and different situations. So that caused them to have very different perspectives in how they look at the West. I think between the two novels there is quite a lot of positive impact. For example, the impact that the West had on Marjane in her development, in her ideas about the things that were going on in Iran. Okay, but there are also negative impacts that the West may have had, especially on the captors and in Evil Cradling, because they weren't educated and therefore sometimes they're easily influenced by maybe some negative aspects of the West, which is obviously a negative thing. So the first similarity is freedom. So as you can see between the two novels, a lot of them, they look at the West as being free because they can do whatever they want. They're not restricted as much as the two other countries. Another similarity, which I think is a bad thing, is the ignorance of the West. Throughout the two novels, you can see many times how they don't, they ignore all the facts and they make generalizations about lots of the situations that occur in the two countries. So first, the first example in An Evil Cradling, when Keenan talks to one of his friends and the friend explains some of his expatriates experiences. This obviously shows how they don't see the real life, the reality, because they've been living as expatriate residents. Another example from Persepolis is when the nun makes a very general judgment about her education because she is from Iran. As you can see, this is obviously not true, but just from a generalization that caused her to think this way. Another similarity in the two novels is the sexual liberation. This can be looked at maybe positively and negatively. It really depends, I guess, on depending on which novels you are looking at. Um, in Persepolis, you can see Julia talking. She's very young, and she's already had many experiences with different men, and this is counted as a very a normal thing in the Austrian society. And from An Evil Cradling, the captors too are very interested from maybe things that they have seen from films and commercials and magazines that cause them to be very interested in what that the sexual liberation could do. And so now we look at the differences. One of them is some of the negative aspects where from An Evil Cradling, the captors, because of their lack of education, they get negative impact from maybe films, very violent films like Rambo, as you can see. Another difference from An Evil Cradling has a positive impact, is that the humor that is used between the novel. The West, they use this humor to get through the hard times they've had, and this I think it has a very good positive impact. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the biggest differences, the differences in Persepolis, which I think are mainly all focused on the open-mindedness of the West. So just gonna look at different factors under that. So first of them all, we'll look at so we'll have a comparison. As you can see, when Marjane was young, she was forced to wear maybe a veil, same uniform. The only thing different in this photo is maybe some of their facial features. However, everything else is practically exactly the same. But as you can see, when Marjane moves to Austria, there's a drastic change because people are more open-minded. They're not restricted by what they wear and how they look. So you can see how she gradually changes to a very different person just from appearance. Another difference is maybe the how the West has influenced them to want to party, which had been banned because of the music included and the dance moves, which were all to their own feelings and thoughts, which were prohibited. Again, in another West influence is smoking. In the women in Iran, they were more oppressed by doing certain things, but however in the West, the women and men, they're both equal, and so it too is okay for a woman to smoke whenever she wants to. And finally, we look at the consumerism of alcohol, which was forbidden in Iran because of the effects it could have on you, and because it's related to having enjoying certain things and having fun, and therefore the West having this alcohol is a positive impact on freeing the people.